do you pay, man?
Huh?
If you don't write checks, how do you pay these guys?
Straight cash, homie. Straight cash, homie. Straight cash, homie.
We need money.
We are not a charity. I want winners.
How much money?
$1 million.
Seriously, how much money?
$5.
Pay that to me and his money.
He's going for the bundle!
We got a dollar, we got a dollar, we got a dollar, hey, 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 hey.
Tell us where the money is.
Happy Halloween, everybody. Hopefully it's going to be a safe one. It is Two Brothers, Same Mother. This is Sheik. And of course, we got AJ on the small screen as well. And if you checked in with my bets from last week, you made money. Because I went 5-1. And I know, AJ, you're not really into the whole betting thing, but you do know a little bit, right?
A little bit. I know a little something.
So what I'm going to do is, first off, take this off. Because it's starting to get to me.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I was looking like I was sweating for you. For real. Like, I was like, good God. Like,
yeah, that's not good. But got my my visor with the Philly Special on the bottom.
Oh, man. Got the Philly Special visor.
So, gonna put this on.
Oh, yeah. Well, I got filters. Happy Halloween. All right.
So, my first bet that I'm looking at for this week is Packers -6 against the Vikings. Now, I don't think the Packers are going to blow the Vikings out, but I just don't see it. I just don't see Kirk Cousins and that Vikings team being able to keep this game beyond a touchdown. What's your thoughts on that?
It was last week they lost to the Bucks, right?
Packers beat the Texans last week.
I know it's a divisional game. Minnesota surprised me. I think it was either last week or the week before. I didn't think they were going to win, and they did. And you said it's 7 points? They're giving the Packers 7?
Packers -6. I think there might be some issues with Dalvin Cook if he's going to play or not, too. So,
you know what? I can still see the Packers winning by a touchdown. So
there we go. Okay. Now, my second bet for me, Chargers -3. The Chargers are playing the Broncos. They're going to be playing in Denver. And it's always a little funny, but I haven't seen anything from Drew Lock that makes me think that they're going to be able to blow the Chargers out of the water, and Justin Herbert's just doing his thing. So I think it's going to be a close game, but I can see the Chargers either winning by a touchdown or winning by 4. I don't think this is going to be a game where Denver wins or that it is going to be a 22-21 game like the Eagles game was.
No. I definitely feel that. I think the Chargers are going to win straight up. And I think they'll win by more than 3.
There we go. Okay. Now, what I normally like to do is to try to find 2 games like that, 2 over-unders, and 2 player props, and I'll walk you through what that is. So those are my 2 games that are just, by the spread. Now, my over-unders, Browns and Raiders. Earlier in this week, it was at like 54.5 points. It is all the way down to 49.5. If this was a regular game, I would say bet the over because Cleveland's doing great. Las Vegas is doing great, but it's in Cleveland. It's supposed to be rainy. It's supposed to be about 30 to 35 mile per hour winds. Both teams can run the ball, but Cleveland still doesn't have Nick Chubb. Or Odell. Yes, or Odell Beckham. So I think it's going to be one of those 21-17, 24-20 games, and if you bet under 49.5, I think you're good.
Yeah. Especially like weather. If it was like a regular September day, I would definitely take the over on that. But yeah, absolutely. Definitely take the under.
Now, I was looking at some other over-unders. Like I said, weather's going to be a big thing in a lot of these games. So I actually did decide to go with one more game on the spread. Seahawks Niners. Okay. Seahawks are 3-point favorites. I think the Seahawks are going to beat the Niners by more than 3 points. I think that's an overreaction to Russell Wilson's 3-interception game. The Niners, they're plagued with injuries. I don't even know who's going to be playing running back for them. Mostert is on injured reserve, and they still don't have Deebo Samuel and a whole host of other people.
So Deebo Samuel's out again?
Yeah. So I think Seattle wins by a touchdown at least.
Yes, I agree.
Now, player props. The way player props work. you look at a player and there'll be something about how many receiving yards or catches or something they're going to get. So I was looking at this Cincinnati-Tennessee game. The over-under for rushing yards for Derrick Henry is 96.5. Now, because of the fact Cincinnati and Cleveland are both going to be dealing with that same type of crazy weather, I wasn't comfortable with that. But then I saw Joe Burrow over-under rushing yards at 12.5. And I was thinking, man, 1 or 2 scrambles, Burrow does run around a little bit. I think he's going to get 13 or more rushing yards. And understand, sacks don't count towards rushing yards. It has to be a rush. So if he gets sacked 6 times for 40 yards lost, that don't count towards his rushing total. So
Okay.
I'm going to go with Joe Burrow getting 13 or more rushing yards this game.
I'll agree. I think he'll pick up. Maybe he may even do it on one play. So yeah.
Now, the other one I looked at, I personally, because of the fact, one of the golden rules of betting is don't bet on a team that you love or hate because you don't want your emotions in it. So, look at this Eagles-Cowboys game. The Eagles were 7.5-point favorites. It's up now to 10.5-point favorites. I'm not touching that. However, Ezekiel Elliott, 67.5 rushing yards, I'm betting the under. I mean, I don't see the Cowboys really getting enough in the passing game going to where the Eagles' D-line is going to just let Zeke run on them. So I personally think Zeke is going to end up like maybe 55 to 60 rushing yards. I don't think he's going to hit 70. And I think that it's the Eagles' strength. So I'm betting the under on that. Zeke Elliott under 67.5 rushing yards.
Really? You put me through all that torment yesterday.
By the way, I totally trolled AJ. I was talking about how Ezekiel Elliott will get 100 yards rushing.
You and Mike from Mayfair. Okay? You and Mike from Mayfair. Wait till I learn how to edit this shit, too. I'm going to start posting some of these texts that you put on here, buddy. Just pure rushing? Is that what we're talking about, or all
just
purpose?
Just rushing, not all purpose. The weather's not supposed to be that great in Philly tomorrow. And it's
supposed to rain. It's supposed to rain.
And it's the Eagles.
I'll agree. I'll go with the under. Go with the under.
That's one of the ones you're going to have to sweat out a little bit, but I think we'll be able to
Yeah, I personally think what's going to happen is maybe not Zeke. Zeke may look like he's going to hit that, but I think the Eagles, especially with Goddard and Rager coming back, I think the Cowboys are going to have to keep up, should I say, with the Eagles. And I think they're going to kind of abandon the run or feel they need to. So.
And now you're on the big screen here, so you're in the forefront as opposed to myself, just because I wanted people to see the man cave and the bobbleheads in the background.
And Iverson.
Yeah, right. So the one other thing I like to do is it's called a teaser. So the way the teaser works is you give a team or over under a certain amount of points beyond. So the Eagles are 7.5-point favorites. You can tease it down 6 points to make it 1.5 points. But normally you pair it with a few other teams, so that way it's your the amount of money you make is more. So it's called a parlay, basically.
Cause Silverline's playbook.
Yes, exactly. So I combined this, and this is my 5-team parlay here, and I'm going with the Bucks minus 6.5 points to beat the Giants. They're right now at 12.5 points. I think the Bucks are going to win by 2 touchdowns at least, but that's to be on the safe side. Tennessee to win -1, so that's basically a pick 'em there. The Jets. So I'm not picking the Jets to win. They're 19.5-point underdogs. You give them 6 points.
Saw that.
That gives them 25.5 points. The Jets are still an NFL team. And once again, New York isn't supposed to be all that great weather-wise either. I don't think that they're going to lose to Kansas City by 28 points. I could be wrong, but I'm going to roll with that. The Saints, +2. So the Saints are 4-point favorites against the Chicago Bears. With this 6-point teaser, you give them 2 points. So even if they win 22-21, or if they lose 22-21 rather to the Bears, you still win the bet because you give the Saints 2 points. And finally, the Niners and Seahawks under 59.5 points. I don't think the Niners and the Seahawks combined are going to score 60 points or more.
No.
So If all that hits, you get all 5 of those things, that is at right now at plus 550, which means if you were to bet $100, you will win $550. Not bad. And, more like what we would do if you bet $10, you win $55. So those
Bet
are
a soda.
bets. Yeah, right. Your thoughts, anything else that you might want to throw in, any team that you think is worthy of looking at a bet-wise in your mind, I can kind of look up the spread for you real quick.
What's the spread on Baltimore-Pittsburgh?
Baltimore-Pittsburgh. So the interesting thing about this opened up with Baltimore being a 6-point favorite. It is now down to 4 points. So right now, if you bet the Steelers, you get 4 points. And the over-under, I think, is at like 50 points, too. So they expect it to be a high-scoring game. 28-20.
The over. I can. You said the Sorry, didn't mean to get so close to y'all.
It's all right.
The over is 50.
The over is 50.5. And I'll double-check that, but I'm pretty sure.
I would definitely take the Steelers on that bet, but I would definitely also take the over.
Oh, wow. So you think that the Steelers are going to either lose by 3 or win the game outright, basically, and you think it's going to be like a 31-28 type game?
Yes.
Wow. Oh, okay. Nice tidbit by you. And you remember I was talking about player props and that kind of stuff. And this was one that I wanted to just throw by you. Carson Wentz, 19.5 rushing yards. You think he goes over that?
Yes.
So there you go. Over 19.5 for Carson. Now, one thing I was going to say with college football. College football traditionally only has that goes for the 4 playoff teams in the big conferences. Big 12, the Big 10, your Pac-12. So you and ACC, SEC. If you're out of those, you're probably not going to make the playoffs. One team that is not in that, but is really, really good, is BYU. Their quarterback will be playing on Sundays. He's probably going to be like a 3rd-round pick. He's dope. Here's the thing. All they got is cupcakes on their schedule. So they favored by 28 points, 29 points, 27 points. That's a lot of points. But how do you get the college playoff committee to look at you and say you deserve to be one of the top 4 teams? You beat those cupcakes by 40, 50, 60 points. So, BYU, unless if it's like 35, 40 points, that's like money in the bank. I'm just telling you, bet BYU pretty much the rest of the season because they're going to have to blow teams out to even have a shot at the college football playoff. And they're not playing Utah. They're not playing, they were supposed to play Notre Dame. They're not going to be playing those schools. They're playing cupcakes the whole way. They're playing Texas State. Like, I'm telling you, BYU, I know it's scary for them to have to win by more than 4 touchdowns. BYU's money in the bank all season long. So that's just my college tip for that. Anything else you want to lead off with?
Nah, just make sure you like and subscribe, and make sure you turn in either Wednesday or Thursday.
Sounds good. I'm going to put the picks up on the screen just one more time so you get a chance to look at them. Just a reminder. And AJ gave you some extra picks there as well. Take the Steelers +4. Take the over in the game. And Carson Wentz over 20 yards rushing. So there you go. We'll go check it out what happens next week. We are 0 for 1 on our picks because we both thought Carolina was going to win.
I was going to text you that too.
Yeah, Listen, I ain't think that they were going to cheap shot Bridgewater like that. And I thought the defense would show up a little bit more. Honestly, if you look historically the past couple years, Carolina, the first 7 games, comes right out the chute looking real good. And then, so they got a new coach, got a new quarterback. Same old story. But here's to fattening up your wallets. And I will see you either Wednesday or Thursday next week celebrating the Eagles' victory, right?
Yes, sir. Go Birds!